to make, a woman asked me to find some recipes with cottage cheese. I know she knows how to make omelets with cottage cheese and stuff, but I'm going to make a bread that calls for ricotta cheese. Now, ricotta cheese, when you buy cottage cheese at the store and ricotta is drier. When you make your cottage cheese, it's already dry. So you don't have to worry about that. The reason I'm making some ricotta, we're going to need a whole gallon of milk here. My ricotta will be more moist compared to the cottage cheese that I make. Now, because this bread requires that you're going to have to strain the ricotta. There's nothing I can do about that. My cottage cheese is dry enough that I don't have to do it. Now, let me get this on the stove. We're going to need a whole gallon of milk. And since I have extra milk, I can afford doing this. All right, we have to get this temperature. It's going to be higher than it is when you make cottage cheese. They say 150. Here we have to hit 195. So we're going to be moving up there in that direction. Hi, Real, and happy Friday to you. Hi, Shane. So, the ricotta, I'm going to tell you what happens with cottage cheese as this is heating up. Be careful you don't burn it. You're going to have the burnt flavor through everything. When you you buy cottage cheese, you see that it's liquid and it has curds in it, but it's more creamy. Well, that's because they know cottage cheese, as it sits, the curds are going to start picking that moisture back up until finally they're swollen, and then you'll have it. So they make that cottage cheese, and instead of giving you the whole amount like I showed you making cottage cheese, they sit there and they put a little bit in, and they put a lot of heavy cream or light cream or a mixture of creams or whatever, and they let it set. And by the time you get it to it, those kernels have swelled, and all what you have is like a creamy cottage cheese, all right? My cottage cheese, I add all that, and the next day it's dry, okay? And I just keep on, if I keep on adding, I could probably end up with a big container. So what you're really buying as cottage cheese before they add the cream is just like a fourth or a half a cup, and that's all you're really paying for. So in the long run, we really are losing a lot of money and wasting it, and they're getting it from us. So now you notice that you have to get cottage cheese at 150 degrees. But when you make ricotta cheese, we're going to have to hit 195. You also notice that you add more vinegar when you make cottage cheese. We are only going to be using a fourth of a cup of white vinegar. And the reason we use white vinegar, because there is no flavor in it, so it won't affect the cheese that we're making. And I do strongly recommend that you keep stirring this. Yeah, Shane, exactly. So when we do this, and I'm going to be making the ricotta bread tomorrow, the woman who sat there and requested a cottage cheese, she'll be able to use the cottage cheese in place of the ricotta, except she is going to have to sit there and drain it to make it dry. I'm a widow, Tony. My husband's dead. So we're going to do this, and it's almost the same, except the temperatures are different. That's all. When I'm done making this, I plan to sit there and make my tomato sauce. I'm going right into it. And that's where you need 5 pounds of tomatoes. We use a stick of butter and 1 onion. It's so good. I mean, add some milk or cream to it and heat it up. Don't boil it. Man, you could end up with a lovely tomato sauce soup. That soup is fantastic. Oh, I love it like that. I am making ricotta cheese for a ricotta cheese bread tomorrow, because a woman had asked me, did I have any cottage cheese recipes other than with fruit? I do like a grape jelly and cottage cheese sandwich. So my husband said it's much better with cream cheese. I said, but Tony, I like it with cottage cheese. Well, anyway. And I know how to make an omelet with cottage cheese, you know, a few things, but I'm one that'll just eat a plain omelet as a side dish. And this woman wanted some other recipes, so I found one. And so we're going to work on this and get this going. It's going to take a bit of time, but if you don't stir it, you're going to burn it and then it's going to go straight through. Okay, thank you. Some of you think I put makeup on, but I really don't wear makeup. I'll put lipstick on, but what you're seeing is really, really me. And I'm going to be making tooth powder soon, so I'll show you how I make tooth powder. I'll be doing that soon. The recipe for what? For the tooth powder? Or this? What I'm making? I give you all the recipes except for a few. Some of them are actually to protect children from. This doggy looks so pretty. Thank you, Azima. I think I said, I'm just taking the first part. Yeah, this is ricotta cheese we're making. You're going to actually see the whole making of it. We just have to get this temperature up to 195, this milk, and then from there we'll know what we're doing. Because I want to make that ricotta bread for that young lady who asked me. I did buy a whole chicken for the person that asked me to show him how I fry my chicken because he says it's either raw or burnt. So we're going to teach him how to do it. Hi, Cheryl. I think I said that right. Cheryl, right? Hi, and good afternoon. I forgot I'm going to need a mat because I'm going to move this off of this. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, ricotta cheese. But I was talking about cottage cheese so people could understand because she wants to make it with cottage cheese, and I said you can substitute it, but you'll probably have to strain the cottage cheese unless you make it yourself. Thomas, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't understand. But at least it's not registering on my phone. Maybe the phone's running late, I don't know. Oh, somebody did something they weren't supposed to write. So this takes a little bit of time. I'm sorry, I can't move any faster than it. It will. Thank you, Azim. And have a good evening. I should say have a good night. Get some rest. I couldn't cook this morning because I was out shopping. Thank you very much, Mark. I want to learn how to make cheddar cheese because we love cheddar cheese in this house. And the one at the store has like a gum taste to it. I buy it because I need it, but I just don't like that gum taste. But they say I need something to press it down or something. I haven't figured it all out yet. We're making ricotta cheese, Raj. I'm only using the first parts of your name because it seems on YouTube you got to cram everything together. So I just take the first part. I just don't want this to burn because if it burns, it's going to ruin the whole dish. We're actually making cheese. I tell you something I do like. I tried this. I made farmer's cheese. And I used olives. I put olives in. I thought I put enough in it, but I didn't. But it was so good. I couldn't believe how I used the green olives. I want to put black and green olives into farmer's cheese and shape it up with black pepper and see how it comes out. Yes, it is. So any of you that think I wear makeup, the only makeup I wear is literally some lipstick, and that's it. Other than that, you see me just the way I am. I put oil on my face, And that's what I use. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, what do you put on it? They can't believe me when I say it. And I even gave it to you. But I've been using it since I was 20 something, so I've been using it for a very long time. I did. I did wear makeup. I wore Merle Norman. Then my parents got a divorce. I sat there and I used Merle Norman makeup. My parents got a divorce, and Merle Norman was expensive. My mother couldn't afford it, so there was no more makeup. And so I went without makeup. And then I got married because I had quit wearing makeup. I think when I was, 17, I quit wearing makeup. My husband is gone. He died. Hi, see you. I think I pronounced that right. Anyway, I think when 18 or 19, I quit wearing makeup completely. And then in my 30s, my husband found Bare Minerals. And he said, Sandy, I want you to wear makeup. He's the one who wanted me to wear makeup. I said, no, I don't want to wear makeup. Hi, Davian. It's okay. It's been a while, but I still miss him. And he bought it for me, and I could wear it. So I wore the makeup because he wanted me to wear it. And then the company got bought over, and they did something. I ordered the makeup, and I started breaking out all over again. And I told my husband, I can't wear it. So we had to throw it all out. And then I didn't wear makeup anymore. I just didn't. I just liked being myself. Okay, we're at 123. Then, I'd say about 5 years ago, I heard about Boom for Always Woman, and I tried it. Hi, Davian. And so I used Boom, but I noticed my skin was drying out with Boom. I said, I don't even think I used it 6 months. It's still sitting in my bedroom and I don't even use it. I got rid of it. I'm going to throw the last of it. And that was it. But the one thing that was always steady was I always used the oils that I put on my skin. Since I was 20 something, I've always kept that up. But I've tried makeup. I don't like it. I tried nail polish and it killed my nails. My nails died. They were just falling off my fingers. I was really upset about that. And then what happened? So I quit wearing that. And the one thing that I can wear, and I wear what's the company that I use? It's a natural makeup lipstick only. Color the World lipsticks is what I use. I had 3. I lost my little girl. That's the lipstick that I use. Though Estee Lauder has some very nice colors. I'm not going to lie to you. So that's pretty much it. Did I wear it as a teenager? It was fashionable. It was in the 60s, painting flowers on our cheeks and stuff at school, and being told you can only wear 1 ring on your finger. So I wore 9, 1 on each finger, just to irritate them. How to keep loving your life? I think it's not so much loving my life as I love my God. I love God, and I know He's love. I think that's it, and I keep Him very close to me. And I think that's what it is that keeps me going. Well, if you don't know who God is, you're in deep trouble. But Dorothy knows, and I agree with your statement, Dorothy. I think knowing that He loves me and that I'm His child, that's how I look at it. Though you would say I'm an adult or I'm an elder, to Him, I'm His child. He created me, and I will go back to Him when I close my eyes, when the body actually gives up. The Heavenly Father, no, you will not get a home tour. If you think you're in trouble, you're in trouble. I explained how I see life and God and all. And like I tell you, though I'm Anglican, Church of England, Americans know it as Episcopalians, I'm a little eccentric, I guess they would say that. But I've done a lot of studying in that area. I went to the ARE for knowledge as well. I read the Bible. I cannot quote it except very few, so don't sit there and say verse and this and that. I will not be able to keep up with you on that. No, I'm not a pagan. Well, I guess some people would say my religion is pagan or whatever. I am a Christian, and that answers it simply. I just said some of my beliefs they might find a bit eccentric, but it answers a lot of questions for me. I have to check the temperature on this, because we do have to hit it to 195. And I've got, oh yeah. I'll turn this down a bit and see, because I don't want it to boil up and over. Okay. Yeah, I know we're getting close. Okay, I'll turn you back up. We'll keep going. Yeah, it's getting really hot now. I don't want it to boil over. Beautiful moment. When I opened my eyes after they lost me on the table and I was in recovery room, and my husband was there looking at me, and he said, "I love you." I'm trying. Well, I shouldn't say I'm trying. I've made it. We're going to make ricotta cheese. And for the lady who asked me what did I have for breakfast, because I'm still cold, I still have a cold, apple cider vinegar and water. Believe you me, you can get tired of it too. But I have to have it twice a day to help fight this cold. Everything is at least the headache's gone. My back doesn't hurt now that I get up, so that means it's getting through the kidneys. I think a lot of you make fun on nutrition, but when you hit 73, which I'm going to be in a few weeks, we'll see what you look like. I might even still be around for all you know. And I bet you'll look a heck of a lot older than me. And you'll have aches and pains and arthritis and everything else to go. I know how to make some things that I learned from Casey, because we were prone to colds a lot. But they have a book if you want natural remedies. Put the money out for it. They say it's on sale now. I don't know how much it is. I don't have that book. And I'm not going to say that I know everything, because I don't. But what I do know, I know well. Strong impressions about what? In the hood? You're talking guttural language. That's trying to isolate yourself. Why don't you just try being a man? Or if you're a female, try being a woman. If you think it's that easy. So that's why I don't wear makeup. I find it boring. Spend 30 minutes to 45 minutes putting makeup, as they say, putting your face on. I happen to like my face. With all my problems, everything else, I like my face. Okay. I didn't say I was. I am watching the temperature of the milk. I have to hit 195, and I'm stirring it to keep it from burning. And I'm almost up there, but I have to wait till it gets there. Because we're coming very close to boiling. So I want to stir it to make sure it doesn't overheat at the bottom and be cold on top, and stirring to make sure it doesn't burn as well. So that's what you're watching me do. But you can see from back there what I'm doing. Yes, we are making cheese. Now once we get the vinegar in here and we stir it around, it's going to have to sit, not 5 minutes. It's going to sit a little longer. So we have to treat it differently. And we'll be adding more heavy cream than we did with the cottage cheese. So you'll actually see how things work differently. I used to be an artist model. That was my career. I modeled for 1, 2, 3 artists, and as they died and retired, I retired with them. Up to that point, before I started modeling, I was in the church and I did a lot of volunteering, and that's what I was taught. Manage my expenses. What do you mean? You don't know how to take care of your money? I find that making lunches and sending my family out with them is cheaper than buying. I can tell you, women who wear makeup can spend up to $400 a month. We'll talk about makeup. I can talk about makeup. When I was learning from my cosmetologist, that's a woman who deals with makeup with Merle Norman. I had to go there and learn how to do that. You have 4 makeups. You have to have 4 bases, 4 sets of different colors, mascara and stuff. Number 1, you have your day makeup for summer. You have your day makeup for autumn. You have your day makeup for winter. And you have your spring day makeup. So that means all your foundations and colors and lipsticks have to go accordingly. And you say, no, I use the same one. You can't use the same one. You know why? Because your skin doesn't stay the same color. It tans and then it gets fading. And when you put makeup on, you have to work it into your hair. You don't leave a line here or here. You've got to carry it all the way down and have it fade out. And then when you have cleansers, they take off the makeup. Then you have to sit there and you're going to clean up. And then you have to put creams and stuff onto your face again. So you can see the ritual you have to go through. So there's a lot of money in makeup. And then if you paint your nails, the nail polish is only going to stay on for a week. Then you get nail polish, so you have to have different colors. Now for the evening makeup, your colors have to be richer and darker because it's nighttime. So your blushes and everything are going to change through each season as you go through it and as the time of the day. And to me, that's just a waste of time. That's like my mother took me to the beauty parlor. She wanted me to color my hair, put perms in it, and, sleep in curlers at night, and I wasn't going to do that. No, sorry. If I'll let my hair natural as possible, no thank you. Don't color my hair. I'm not ashamed of the gray. I had my gray like I was 7. I started graying, and I was crying at first because everybody called me the old maid, and it really hurt. You know, little children can be very cruel. And I told my grandmother one day why I was crying, and I told her because they say I have gray hair. And she told me what gray hair came from. So I was very happy. I'm just using whole milk, regular milk. We're at 187. We're 188 now. It's going to start climbing. So, no, people ask me if I wear makeup, so I just gave you a quick rundown on it. How do I save money? I save a lot of money not doing that, wearing makeup. But women go and get their nails painted. Think about that. They get their hair done. They could wash and curl it themselves. They don't want to. So that's how I budget these. I look at things that I can do. I get more cottage cheese when I make it myself. I sit there and I make my own bread. I'm trying to make my yeast sitting in the bathroom in a dark area. I'm waiting for it to take. And then if I can make yeast, I won't have to buy yeast at the store anymore. And they state that it does last about 2-3 weeks. Now, I found something in the store, and I said, I wonder if I can make muffins with this. I'm thinking about it. For this one right now, I'm just getting a gallon of milk. Oh, shoot, a brick, I hit it. Come on, I gotta know what your temperature is. This is getting ready to boil. 93, okay, we're getting there. Hi, come on, just a few more dots. That's it. All right, I'm at 195. You're going to pour 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar in here. And you're going to stir this around. You have to stir this around. If this doesn't work, I'm going to get really peeved with it. All right, we're going to have to rest this 5 whole minutes, and then we're going to be straining this. But this is being made for tomorrow. Hi, Izzy. And Izzy, don't be stupid. If you don't like cheese, that's fine. Just say you don't like it. But there are people that do. So that's a 5-minute wait. Now we're going to have to strain this. I lost my little girl. Okay. Where's my big strainer? Oh, shoot. Okay. That's 2 quarts. I should be able to get it in there. I'm trying to think of where I'm going to put this, okay? That's okay, Izzy. It's been a while. Let's see, am I going to be able to pick this up out of this? Yeah, I'll just have to be careful. Okay, we've got to wait 4 more minutes, and then we'll take care of that. We just have to let it sit. That's all we're doing right now is sitting for 5 minutes. So if you want a 5-minute break, you can. Yeah, I like it. I really do. If you want it creamy, every day you're going to have to keep on adding more heavy cream or light cream until it quits absorbing that liquid. So if you like creamy cottage cheese, every day until it quits absorbing it. But there's different, I don't like the cottage cheese that I get into the store. It has something added to it, and I can't tell you what it is. It's like when I eat some things, like my girlfriend, she's not a real good cook, so she buys instant things that she can heat up in her oven. And I can taste like there's a funny gum taste in the back of my throat when I eat it. I'm not happy, but I don't disrespect her either. Store, we're talking about food and things like that. I have no problem with them. Sean, yes, it is chemicals. There's something, and I can't tell you what it is, but when I eat food that is frozen or pre-made things, even the pre-made biscuits and stuff, Pillsbury, I can taste it. I don't know what it is, but it's something they're using. If I buy bread outside, I can taste it. It's really funny because I can't tell you what it is. On butter? I've never used, when I make grilled cheese sandwiches, I sit there and I use butter. I've never used mayonnaise. I can't answer that question other than that. Uh, Shane, I have videos that show you how to make yogurt from scratch, and once it starts that culture, you can keep it going for years. But I will warn you that it gets stronger. It's very strong. It's like the yogurts you used to buy in the early 60s before they took the cultures out, and then they only put a little bit back. Check on my old videos and you should see yogurt there. We got 2 more minutes. You're very welcome. If you can't find it when spring comes around or when it's warmer, bring it up again, and I'll do another one, okay, to help you.
I'm going to check it for me. I'll be right back.
Okay. Duck. Duck. Thank you. You're welcome, Shane. Sean, they do. Some people do every day. I sit there once I get my yogurt started. Remember, those countries are using whole milk. Ours has already been pasteurized and stuff, so we have to do it a little different. That's my younger son. I call him my baby. Okay? And that's his cello on his back. Thank you. You know it is cold outside?
I do.
Okay, please close the door. Because I have to read my recipe up there. I can see a lot, but there's a lot I can't see. Oh, now you got my kitchen nice and cold. Ugh. 1 more minute and we'll take care of this. Do you make him liver? Yeah, we're having liver tomorrow. We're going to have bacon with beef liver and a tomato sauce served over pasta. All right, Izzy. Well, I would say old age, but I have a stigma that I was born with. They wanted me to wear glasses when I was little, and they got me glasses, but the doctor couldn't understand. I don't know how your daughter can thread a needle. Her eyes say she can't, but she knows how to do it. I did it for a long time, and finally all the tricks in the book didn't work, and I ended up with glasses. Thank you, Young. Okay. Oh, come on, Sandy. It's got to get in here. Okay, now let's get this thing. Now I'm making a mess on the floor and everywhere else. All right, now that has to sit exactly. Yeah, I'm making a mess while I'm washing clothes tomorrow. I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now that's going to be draining. Have it over the pot draining for 30 minutes. That'll be at 250. So if you want to take a 30-minute break, you can. We're making ricotta cheese. No, ricotta cheese, not rice. This is for the bread I'm making tomorrow to show that woman, the lady who requested a bread recipe with cheese. That's what I'm doing today. I don't even know if she's on right now. She might literally be, sleeping. So what we need next, all we're going to need is heavy cream and salt. It's just different ratios, that's all it is. But if I could ever make cottage cheese, not cottage cheese, if I could ever make cheddar cheese, yes, I would be happy. But I want to try to make that farmer's cheese again with the olives, because that was good. Even my son said, that's really good, Mommy. And he said, where did you get this recipe? I said, well, I found simple farmer's cheese wasn't that good. And I said, something just said, add olives, chopped olives into it. And it really came out nice. Make your Yes, with ricotta. Yes, I do. Thank you, C. Okay, hold on. I tell you, I look so young when I was 20. I met my husband when I was 2 weeks of turning 15. And I told him, you're my knight in shining armor. And he said, little girl, how old are you? And I said 14, but I'm going to be 15. He said, that'll get me 20. 20. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't realize at the time he'd be in Brig, which is prison, military prison for 20 years if he touched me. Then when I turned 15, I said, I'm 15. He said, that's still going to get me 20. So then I turned 16, and I said, I'm 16. He said, that's still going to get me 20. And then what happened was I turned 17. When I turned 19, he said, I want to see your ID, little girl. And I showed him, and he said, you are 19. I said, yes, I'm 19. He didn't believe me. He had to wait for me to grow up. But I knew who he was. And I went after him at 14. And he ran as far as he could from me right into my arms. You men don't have a fighting chance when a woman makes up her mind. Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. Oh, no, the military is very strict about that. He was in the military, and you've got to date somebody, and they can't be under 18, but he didn't even believe I was 18, you know. That's how young I looked. I even have my driver's license, my first driver's license, but I don't drive. So you have to be careful. You men really don't have a fighting chance. Once we set it in our heads, you're in trouble. You can run, but as they say, you just can't hide. Yeah, that'll be enough cheese for tomorrow. A neighbor of mine gave a story. He said, I had the life, man. I sat there. I had my car. I had an apartment. I had a closet full of suits and everything. And I went to a party and she walked in. Now she's got the closet. She's got the house. She's got the car. He's married. And he said, she should have never walked into the place where I was at. No, it's a red one, a red microwave. Oh, thank you. But it's true. I mean, all these stories. I tell you, the young girls think that if you spread your leg and give sex, that's how you get a man. No, we were taught when we were young, you keep your legs together. The way to get to a man is through his stomach. Once you can cook, you got him. And when you can cook, your husband will give you more money to buy more food and stuff. Just keep him fed and happy. That's all you need. Hi, Marcia. They don't, my values, Jello, they don't want my values of my time. They really don't. They think they know everything. They think they can curse a man out. You curse a man out, you might find his fist in your face, okay? Yeah. It's going to be 73 in about 6 weeks. I think about 7 weeks. Yes, I said hi to you, Marcia. So they don't want that. They think they know what they're doing. My mother said, point blank, you spread your legs, you're going to have a shotgun wedding. And the men, when they used to come, a young man was going to come and date me, he had to get through my father, and my father was always cleaning his guns. Yeah, yes, we are. Cold. I'm widowed. My husband's dead, and the love is still there. Marcia, you're very welcome, Marcia. Oh God, your values and your morals are going to come through the home, and you're going to have to actually sit there, and you're going to be fighting schools. My husband and I didn't like what was going on at school, so we took our children out and we did home study. It's called an IHIP, and we had to do that. Yes, I'm in America. My husband was forced recon. Division, 3rd Marine Division. He was Special Forces, the nasty group. Yes, I am from the United States. Artie, nobody asked you to stay. Please leave. You just have to say something because you're so insignificant. Yes, I'm from the United States. Goodbye. Yeah, people are nasty. Okay, we got 10 more minutes, about 10 more minutes, and we can put this together. The Northeast. Janet, I like that. That's poignant and to the point. We're making ricotta cheese, we're letting it drain. Okay. Not all the time. If you catch me in the morning, you see the mistakes I can make. Yes, the Northeast. Well, I guess he likes what's going on, which is a lot of waiting. Some people stick around and they like to say things. Let me get the heavy cream. I know I have heavy cream, I just bought it. Okay. Did I take it out? If I don't have heavy cream, this is not going to get done today. I just had the heavy cream. Sandra, you screwed the lid on and you put it out. I forgot I put it in the drawer. New York State. Does that help? I found my heavy cream. I knew I bought it. Now, when I make my cheeses, I use iodized salt unless they tell me to use another one. Marcia, it's New York State is where I live. You're from New York, Cole? Oh, some people. All right. I'm going to need this. Jamaica, Queens, cold. That's not far, yeah. But I was raised in Texas. I really was. I'm on Staten Island, so you should know where that's at. Beef? Yeah. You're just getting the last of the fluid out. Come on, shake the last out. Now see, when we made the cottage cheese, we had to rinse it, right? This one we don't. It's very simple. All right. Get a fork so we can break this up. And we'll start adding the salt and stuff to this. I'll turn you down. California now. Okay, Code. You're out on the West Coast. You see how we didn't rinse this? That's why we use so little vinegar in it. And it's more moist. You see, it's not as dry as the way we did the cottage cheese. Now I need to add, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt to this. Always use plain salt or iodized. I use iodized because I want to make sure I do get the iodine. Do not use my mixed salt. This will not go good. I already know. I've tried it. And I had to throw it out. Okay, now we're going to add 2 cups of heavy cream to this. Oh yeah, ricotta is very good, but we're going to put this in a bread. This is how you make ricotta cheese. Now remember, these curds are hot, so they're still going to be absorbing some of this liquid back. Yes, I do. I make sourdough and regular. I want to try some crackers. I found a sesame seed cracker recipe, and I want to try making crackers. I think that would be interesting. But yes, I make my own bread. Most of the time rolls, unless I go to the store and ask them to make a sandwich or something, because I don't have time when I come home. Now tomorrow, this will be thicker than it is. Joe, that's his choice. No, it was 2 cups of heavy cream. 2 cups. That was it, just 2 cups of heavy cream. And this all started with 1 gallon of milk. Now the whey is what's left over. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to can that, and then I can cook with that. I'll use that like I use stock, or you can use it if you want to make bread with it. You can do that. So now that we've gotten the ricotta, this is too hot to put in the refrigerator, so I'm going to have to leave this sit out. But that's how you make it. But remember, tomorrow morning it'll be a little thicker. So I hope the lady. Oh, I'll probably make lasagna, but we just had lasagna not long ago. But I do have venison. Maybe we should try making venison lasagna. He's not going to apologize. Nama, hi. So now you know how to make ricotta. You know how to make cottage cheese. And if you wish to learn to make yogurt from scratch using the pasteurized milk that we have, I will show you how to do that. Thank you very much. Your name just went through and I didn't get to say thank you to you. Thank you, Danielle. Marby, I've been doing very well. Getting better. I was coughing and hacking this morning, but I got my voice back. I thought I was going to make this and not show you. And let me put this up. It is heavy cream. tell you, you're taking all the room up. Now I've got to start my tomato sauce. And that's what I've got to do. And I need the same pot. But I'll show you how much whey I have left. And like I was telling you, this whey right here, you can it. No, my husband's friend made this for me. But this whey you can use to cook your rice in. You can cook pasta in this. You can use this in your gravies. You can, like I said, you can actually use whey in your bread. So you don't have to waste this. Now the white stuff you see down on the bottom after you can it, you'll see this white stuff settle at the bottom. Those are proteins. Just shake the jar up and use it anyway. It's great. There will be no problems with it. I've used it more than once. And as you can see, I've got a big bowl here. I'll let it cool. Now, how do you can it? You can it like you can milk. It'll be called a cold pack. You sit there and you heat and sterilize your jars. Let them get to room temperature. Get your pressure canner and you put cold water in it. Everything's got to be cold when you start this, but you've got to sterilize those jars first. Then you pour the cold whey and give yourself about an inch. All right, bye, Itzy. Mary Bell, hope you get better. I'm on the same boat, just kidding, yeah. And then what you do is that you give it an inch headspace. That means you're going to give it an inch for it to heat up. Put the lids on, put it all on, turn it on. As soon as it gets to the pounds per square inch or the PSIs of your area, turn it off. Let it, all the pressure and everything drop down to zero. Then take it out, put it on a towel, let it sit overnight. It'll be canned, it'll last. Listen, I've got stuff that's years old in canned and they're still going. You don't have to already eat it. And nobody's going to tell you you have to. I mean, I'm not cooking for you. And, you know, if you came, you would find it in the food if you like it or not, and you wouldn't even taste it. No, that's whey. It's not buttermilk. Whey is a byproduct of making cheese. And I use it like I use my stocks and things to make it work. Okay. Oh my goodness. I got to get this pot clean. I've got to get these tomatoes started. Do you want to stay watching while I'm making a tomato sauce? Because I've got to clean this pot out. This is the pot I need. It'll actually hold what I need. But at least we got the cheese done. Because I've got to clean this out. And we're going to need 5 pounds of tomatoes. I get the meaty tomatoes. We used to know these as egg tomatoes. Okay. These we knew as egg tomatoes when they came out. Did I break anything? I don't know, but we'll find out when I do dishes, won't we? I have to clean this first. Don't worry, I have a sink full of dishes. What's tomato sauce? I'll show you how to make one that's guaranteed. It is so good. All what you need is 5 pounds of meaty tomatoes. You'll need an onion, a pot, definitely a pot, and a stick of butter. It's delicious. And if I want to make it into a soup, I just add some milk to it. Okay, let's see if I got this clean. Now I've dropped everything. Let's hope I didn't break anything. everybody I've given this sauce to loves this tomato sauce. It's so simple and it's so good. And the simplicity of food, sometimes things taste much better. Yeah, I do like hamburgers and fries. Okay. Same pot. We're going to do it different though. You need a cutting board. We'll get it going. No, I don't need this. Where is my paring knife? Okay. All right, there's a few things. Sometimes you don't need to do a lot. What you're going to do is cut this out. See that? Cut that out. That will not blend up. I know what you're going to do. Quarter it. Throw it in a pot. You want 5 pounds. And just quarter your tomatoes. I use these because they're meatier. If you get the other ones and there's a lot of water in it, you'll sit there and you'll notice that your tomato sauce is more too liquidy. So I picked them up today. Because I'm going to be making a tomato sauce tomorrow. That's the bake. I'm making this today because we're going to have spaghetti tomorrow. And I know a lot of you don't like bacon and liver together. And what's funny is most people said they gizzards and liver, they'd rather eat the liver, which is funny because when you cook them, liver has a stronger flavor and the gizzard has no flavor. But when they're raw, the gizzard has a stronger flavor and the liver has less. Isn't that interesting how it just turns when you cook them? I waited at the store. We called these egg tomatoes when I was growing up. Okay, so I don't know the name of them today, but I'll show you the shape. But we knew them as egg tomatoes when they first came out in town. That's how I know. It's these. Okay? And the reason we called them egg tomatoes was because they look like eggs, but they're changing names on everything. Like prunes have to be called dried plums because people, if you say prunes, oh, it means you're constipated. Well, a lot of us are, you know? When people die and they're full of 50 pounds of it, you can sit there and say, yeah, our diets are messed up. That's what they call them now, Roma? Okay. Yeah, I just picked them up hours ago. I came in from the store, and as soon as I packed the food up and ate a little, I wasn't too hungry because I'm still sick, but I wanted some biscuits with grape jelly, so I had that. I had leftover biscuits. Then as I started putting the food up, I decided I wanted some cottage cheese. I said, Sandy, are you going to pull this? I said, yeah, I'm going to. Because I have just basically had water and vinegar mostly. See, when we go to blend these up, this will stay hard and doesn't break down. So that's why we're cutting it out. This is an old tomato recipe. For the lady, he said, could you please do some old recipes. This is a very old one. And we're not even peeling these tomatoes either. We're going to use all of this. Okay, this is my last one. Okay, now you got 5 pounds of tomatoes. Yeah. Now you're going to sit there. You're not going to believe what I'm going to do next. Most people don't. You need cold water, but you're only going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons in here, only, and nothing else. And this is it. Okay. Then what you're going to do is put this on a low flame, put the lid on, and you are going to cook these tomatoes until they get mushy. So let me get them on. If you turn it on a high flame, they're going to burn. This is why you have to have a low flame. And they're going to get soft and mushy. Yeah, that's low enough. And that's all you're going to do. You are going to let them sit and cook. Check them. Cheese Danishes. I haven't made cheese Danish in years. You go with the basic. It's just the filling that you're going to put into the Danish, and to keep the cheese, you'll probably have to mix it with eggs, and then you'll add some flavor to it, and use that as the packing inside a Danish. I haven't made Danishes in years. Now, you let these tomatoes cook until they get mushy, all right? And then what you're going to sit there and do is we're going to blend these up. Blend the whole thing up. And then we're going to put it back in the pot, and you add 1 stick of butter to every 5 pounds. And you take 1 whole onion, and all what you're going to do is peel that onion. You don't cut it up or anything, and just put it in there. Leave it on with the lid off then at that point. And what you're going to actually do is allow it to thicken up, and you'll cook until that onion is just mushy. You'll see it. And you just take the onion out. The butter will be melted, and it's got such a good tomato flavor. Until they get mushy. We have to actually wait for this. If you cook it in a hurry, you'd be stirring it because you could burn the skins of the tomatoes. This is why we have it on a low flame. Sometimes it takes about 30 minutes for the tomatoes to break down. And then we're going to pull the blender out, and then we are going to be blending and then putting the final stages. Now, as to how thick you want your tomato sauce after we blend it and put it back in the pot with the onion and the butter, that depends upon you. Because you leave the lid off, it's going to be evaporating, and you'll see how it gets thick and creamy. And when it's done, it is done. So it's not that you're going to leave it for hours and hours and hours, no. But you're going to just cook it till you'll see it reduces and gets a little thicker. It comes out perfect. But if you use the regular tomatoes that have a lot of water in them, you have a lot of evaporating that you have to do because it's too liquidy. Because this has so little water, the sauce is richer. That's why I use, they're called Romas. That's what I use. Yes, I do. I try to make it ahead of time. I did can about 10 jars, pint jars of it. I made a lot, but I used a lot of tomatoes. I went through it. I didn't have enough for the year. So I'm making it again, but I usually make it and I can it. Just like you would can any tomato sauce. Once it's done cooking, can it. I can't remember. What is it? because it's tomatoes, you use a water bath, right, for the tomatoes? Yeah, because they're acid. If you want, you can add a little bit, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't even add. They say add lemon juice to it. I don't. I'll add lemon juice if I do if I have to diced tomatoes or something like that, but not when I do it like this. No, it's got the butter, it's got the onion, and all. No, I won't add the lemon juice to it. But that's, just can it like that, and it's really good. And when I want to make soup, I'll pour. If I want to make a rich one, I'll take and open a jar, and I'll add some cream to it, heavy cream. If I want it a little lighter, I'll light cream. If I just am hungry and I don't want that, I'll just add some milk. Heat it up. Don't boil it, just heat it up. And you have a nice, creamy tomato soup. I'm not kidding on that. And then you could sit there. If you want, you could have grilled ham and cheese, or you could take Munster and turkey and grill them together. Hi, Andrea. And that's what I do. So if you want, if you don't want ham and cheese, you can take turkey and Munster, or if you want, you could use Swiss or whatever you want, and go ahead and make grill sandwiches with that, and use this as a tomato soup. It's delicious. This will be used tomorrow because we're going to be making, like I said, liver in a tomato sauce. So that's what we're going to be having. Yeah, it's already starting. And make sure you don't burn them. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and get some, see if I broke any dishes. And I still have to feed my cultures. I haven't done that either. I'm not dating, I'm an old girl. No, I would not. Sorry, CJ. Committing evil and saying you believe in Jesus would not get you to heaven. I think it means we have to sit there. He showed us the way. He really did. To be kind, to be helpful to each other. It was difficult. Oh, I know, cold. So I don't think it's a walk in the park that, because I believe in him, I'm going to make it. Because I'm sure we are going to be questioned on everything we've ever done and why. I'm sure we're going to have to come up with why did you do it. And you can't blame anybody. Yeah, I figured as much. People hide under their names, under these names. So people, I don't think anybody can go, because I feel one of the questions we're going to be asked is why. That three-letter word that'll probably kill every last one of us. I mean, I remember my parents would say, why did you do that? I tried to make every excuse in the world. She said, there's only one answer, and that's because you wanted to, young lady. Well, I didn't break anything. Not yet. We did hear them all clatter down, so we don't know. Well, everything's coming up so far non-broken, because you did hear me hit them. No, women had to learn to do all these things, but now they don't. They think they can go to the store. and just buy everything instant. But I learned one thing. Nobody's going to care for you and your family like you would. If you don't care for them, well, what can I say? Okay. So you never know. I think there's evil demons. I think people have a choice of being good or evil. They're a choice. But I was told a story one time. There was this guy, he killed people. He killed them. He was a hired gun, you know, an assassin, as we say in polite terms. And but yet, he had a pet, and he loved that pet. He treated that pet so nice. And I couldn't understand how he could do what he did. And this is what put me on, you know, things like this. I started asking questions because I wanted to know. It was more contained. It was there, but the government and the people wouldn't allow it. That was the thing. Today, it's like nobody cares and nobody does the corrections or anything else. And if there were more people that would do this, but the thing is that children are left alone. You can hear some of the comments, so you know they're not raised properly. They say horrible things, and they think they're cute, and that's not a mother or a father around. They're pretty much raising themselves and in gangs as well, which is unhealthy because if you had that before. Ash? Yeah, but it was prophesied. It was prophesied this would happen because of what was going on, what we were doing. Look at it this way. You know in the 10 Commandments, you're not supposed to go after your neighbor's family, basically, okay? And what happened was, if you take that philosophy, just take a simple philosophy like that, governments should mind their own business. You might not like what they're doing, but if each country stayed within its own boundaries, and what works for their people works for them, and quit trying to shove your way down their throat, we wouldn't have the mess we have. It's just like if my neighbors are having a fight and an argument, the other neighbors get involved. And then you end up with a mess. And everybody tries to straighten the mess out. But you don't understand what's going on between the two people that are having a problem. That's called karma. What's ever happened in the past has happened. And they're coming and dealing with it. Maybe not well, but they're dealing with it. And when you get involved, it gets messier. I was always told, don't mind your neighbor's business. Well, this comes from my belief. It's a lot to the point I have panic attacks. Also tried to rid a demon from my friend's house, which now follows me all the time and has been so much so, and I pray all the time, and it helps, but it's still, you invited it. You have to uninvite it. And I know what you're talking about. You butted where you shouldn't. You have to get rid of it. That's what I was taught. You have to want to get rid of it. Because they only latch if you invite them. Just like if there's a knock on the door. I couldn't even help you there. Like my mother said, you don't open the door and you don't go there if you don't have, let's say, if you're not armed. Not everybody. You can have the gifts. I call these gifts from God, okay? But you don't, just because you see it, you feel it, and you know it, unless you're doing this as a career, helping people, then you have to realize you have to be able to step back, because you don't know if you're interfering with something's going on, because you don't know if that person has called that person there. You see, that demon. So I saw once a woman sitting. She was leaning against the wall, not really sitting, but there was a little ledge by the window where she was trying to sit. Yeah, I can imagine you were scared. And what happened was, I was with my husband. We were walking down the street, and he saw me stop. He says, "What's wrong?" I said, I turned to my husband and I said, "You see that woman over there who's just like leaning and sitting on the window of the store, the corner across the street on your right?" He said, he just pretended he was looking around. He said, "Yes." I said, "There's a demon next to her. And I think because she looked like she had been on drugs, or she was high by the way she was acting." I said, "A demon is getting ready to take over on her, and I can see it." And I said, "That demon's going to come after me because I see it." So my husband put me behind him, and he said, "You just tell me where it's at." And I told him, and I said, "He's entering now." And then my husband looked. He gave that demon a look, because that demon got up. It was funny how her body acted after we saw her there. She was walking really funny. Yeah. Okay, Ash. She started walking across the street, really funny, and I said, "She's coming for me because I see." And my husband, his mother had taught him some things. He said something, and that demon saw my husband. I don't know what my husband did, but that demon left her and she fell into the street. Her body just dropped. And then she got up. It was shaking her head. She didn't know what had happened. And I saw that. So there are demons that walk, that whisper into people's ears to do things. Sometimes they take over if you take drugs. You're unaware of it. Negative energy will draw them. Also, if you hear a knock at the door, or you sit there and hear your doorbell ring, look out the window, see if somebody's there first, because if they're not, because they are energy, they are able to project that energy to where you can hear it. And if you open the door, that's as good as saying you're welcomed in. So you have to be careful. So sometimes things like that happen, and you have to be careful. I gotta get another. You must always be careful not to do certain things. Sometimes my doorbell rings, and I look out. I don't see somebody. I'm not answering it. See, the tomato cooking down. It was higher. I'll let you see the broth. You can actually see how this is going. See? And you only put a couple of tablespoons in, you see? And they're breaking down, and we'll be blending them up soon. Had the spoon there, Sandra. Why are you using this? I don't know. I'm just getting stupid. Oh, I did all those dishes. So it's frightening for people. I'm not going to say it is. It's terrifying. You could get in touch with, if you're in America, you can get in touch with the ARE and they'll help you. People say they're not afraid. They can scare the crap out of you. Believe you me. I've seen more than I talk about. Okay. I'm sorry you're having that problem, but you're the one who has to get rid of it, and I don't know how to do that. But I can say they latched on to you in something that you did, which said they had a right to be there. Yes, David, I do cook. Ash, that's not good. Oh, well, that's going. I have got to feed my yeast. They are going to overflow. So you're actually spending like, I think, an afternoon with me. I didn't mean it to be this way. Yeah, that'll do it, Ash. Yeah. Like big, tall. Listen, when you think about it, angels were created before us. And you know, 1/3 of them defied God because they were the answer. The angels were supposed to answer to us. And they didn't like that. So they will come. So they know everything more than we do. They would be able to manipulate us. They would know how to take the words and turn them to where you think it's something else. Where are all my spoons? Dang. Look, I have 2 of these. My sons must have put it somewhere. No. No. I know. My sons put them in one of these drawers. I'm going to have to find it. I'm going to have to buy more. So I told you guys what happened to me. I got scared straight. So I keep myself with my head on. I've been listening to stories and stuff on YouTube, but I think some of the things that I've heard I listen to, and I try to put things together. Oh, they're cooking very nice. They're almost ready. I'm gonna have to put some of that. I have to pour some of this in my discard. That's my discard. Keep that back there. See, if I don't feed these, they'll die, and I'll have to make yeast again. My sourdough culture. I've had this for a while, and it's got good flavor, so I don't want to lose it. I already did once. This is my sponge culture. It's much thicker than the other one. I gotta beat it down and see how low it is. Finish telling the story, please, of whatever happened to the unknown. We're scared straight. I went with 4 friends. There were 3 females. No, how many were there? Let me think. 2 males and a female that I knew. I knew 1 female. She was my girlfriend. She said these were her friends. And this was happened in Beeville. Was it Beeville? Yeah, because it was a trailer park, because we had gone to visit in Beeville. Anyway, we had driven from, my brother didn't know that I had done this. I had gone, where? To Victoria. And she said, listen, we're going to go and just have some fun. I said, okay, I'll go ahead and go. So let's see. It was me, 2 guys, and my girlfriend. He took us to his trailer park, and no, there was no sex. And he said, we're going to be smoking some marijuana. He grew it, there was nothing, and it was just marijuana. And what happened was, the guy whose trailer we were at, he said, dang, I'm out of cigarettes. Well, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. You guys just sit here and have this joint. I said, okay. We all said, okay. So we lit it up. We were sharing 1 joint. It's only 1 joint. And what happened was, we had the joint. And I'm going to tell you what those 2 that were sitting with me while we were waiting for him to come back with the cigarettes that he wanted. I'm going to tell you what they saw, and then I'm going to tell you what I saw that scared the tar out of me and put me straight. I think I was 18 at the time, 17, 18. So what happened was, they saw the door open. Okay, they saw the door open. They figured it wasn't closed right. You know, when the guy went out, he closed it, but he didn't latch, so we figured the door just blew it open. And we're sitting at the table. We only have 1 joint, and we have water and soda on the table. They see a chair move, pull right out like somebody's going to sit down. They see it. That's all they see. Then they saw the ashtray that the joint was in move on its own. Nobody's touching anything, okay? Then they see a glass of water move over. That's what they saw. They saw nothing else. It's what I saw that scared me straight. I saw the door open. I saw who opened the door. It was a demon, and he had his pitchfork. 3 lovely little prongs, red. I smelled the sulfur, strong odor when he opened. He said, I'm going to be kind. I'll leave my pitchfork outside by the door. I'm looking, I cannot move. You understand? I wanted to get up and run, and there was no way in heaven I was going to be able to run. My body got like rocks. I mean, you freeze. You actually cannot move. You're stone hard at that point trying to move. And he pulls the chair out, and he sits down across from me. And I see him move the ashtray. He said, I don't want anything between us. Moves the ashtray. Then he sits there and moves the glass. And then he leans over the table and puts his hand like this and goes, I've been waiting for you for a very long time. And he disappeared. I had the smell of sulfur all over him, and the pitchfork disappeared as well. I want you to know, when he left, I got up and I ran to the bathroom. I slammed that and locked the bathroom door, and I pulled every prayer that I had ever been taught in church. As I tell people, I pulled everything out of my ass that I remembered and then some. Prayed I would never, ever smoke marijuana again. I will never, ever get drunk again. I swear to God, Father, I want you and nobody else. And that was it. And that's how I was scared. And by the way, they're not little. These demons are big. I'm not kidding. But anyway, that scared me and put me straight, and I have been straight ever since. That's yeah, you really, so these people who are taking drugs and stuff and drinking, and just, it really bothers me, because I know I'm not talking from somebody who doesn't know. And like I said, I have died. I know what's on the other side. I don't need somebody to tell me. I've been there 3 times dead. And don't think angels are tiny little babies. They're huge. We're miniatures. I don't care if you're 6 or 7 feet tall. You're short compared to them. And I don't care if you're 40 inches wide. They're huge. They make us look like little ants. They're huge. So some of you will not believe it. You'll probably say, oh, it was the marijuana was laced or something. No, it wasn't, because the guy only smoked marijuana. He grew it himself. He said, I won't lace anything. We're tiny. It's true. They really, So are there angels? Yes. Are there demons? Yes. Can they influence us? Yes. Can they make our life miserable? Can they possess us? Yes. All of that and so much more. We're not intelligent, believe it or not, compared to them. Okay, we're going to blend these tomatoes up. Now it's time. I see that didn't take too long. One thing I'm going to teach you guys, if you have a blender, you do not, I repeat, you do not sit there and put this here and then screw it on like this, because you'll break it, okay? You have to put it on separate and then put it on here, because you'll break the mechanism. I should know. My older son did. I told him not to do it, and he did it. Then you put it on here. Okay, I'm going to need another bowl. Don't you love the way I go through these bowls? I wash dry, then pull them back out. This should do it. Get that mat back. Now all this liquid we have in here has directly come from the tomatoes and nowhere else. Because we only put 3 tablespoons in. So that's what happened to me. I got frightened out of my wits. And I've kept my life, and I know that he's real. Pete Man is very quick to say, like they said, oh, it's been millions and billions of years, you know, the dinosaurs and everything else. They have pictures of the Knights of the Round Table fighting dinosaurs. They have paintings of people riding dinosaurs. And the painting at that time painted what they saw, not what they could imagine. Okay. You gonna tell me you fucking broke now? Yeah, you heard me curse. If it does this, I cannot make this. Sean, if you did what I think you did, I'm going to kill you. It's broken. I'd like to know what my sons did with my mixer. Okay, we're going to try it this way now. Motor's gone. Okay, Sandra, we'll have to use the food processor. I have to get rid of this. It's broken. Let me go get my food processor. This has to be blended. That's an oyster, I think. The Cuisinart broken? That had to go back to the time that my son did what he did. Oh, that's nothing. Because there's no way I can make this dish without, I have to get my blender, get another blender. If this is broken, that's it. I'm going to say we're going to end it and you won't get the tomato sauce. Okay, don't fill any higher than that. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can blend this up really nice. Yes, I do. Okay, let's see how nice this comes out. Okay, I can deal with that. I'm not happy about it, but I can deal with it. Yeah, we always do find a way. Sometimes you have to make do. I'm going to have to strain it because some of this is not breaking down like it would in the blender. Which I don't normally do. It usually all blends up in the blender quite nicely, but this is going to be different. Well, let's see. I'm still going to go through the same steps, except that I have to add one strain. It's going to be added. Okay, strainer time again. The only reason I'm straining it is because I don't think all of it went through into pulp. Yeah, I figured as much. I have enough left. I never strained mine. This is the first time I'm having to do this. And I don't like doing this. But I'll show you what I'm doing. Because when you blend it, it all goes very, very well. But this is going to have to be strained. Because I can't blend it the way I have to. Okay. So you actually got to see my equipment breakdown and how I have to compensate for everything. Because normally all of this in a blender would be smooth completely. But now I'm going to have to order another one. And what gets me is it's a Cuisinart. It didn't last as long as the other one I had, which bothers me. I'm going to have to check and see what my sons have been doing with my blender. I don't like throwing all this out, but choices have to be made. Okay, let's see if I can pour all of this in. I can already see it's a whole cup that's going to be missing in this. So when you use this sauce, if you want it thicker, when you're making it something like spaghetti, you can add some tomato paste to it to help thicken it up if you like a thicker sauce, you know? Because I use this for everything. But now I am not happy at what has happened to my blender. I'll call them. Maybe I have insurance on it and they'll give me a bottom part. Then I don't have to buy another one, which would be nice. I know they fixed it last time, but I don't know what happened this time for it to act up like this. Okay. I can't get any more than that. Sandra, throw everything on the floor. Yeah, why not? I throw it in the sink, I throw it on the floor, right? All right. Okay. All right, you're going to need an onion about this large. Okay. I guess it's not huge, but it's not small. I guess a medium one will do. What am I doing? You got one knife over here, Sandra. Why are you looking for another one? I don't know. Okay. You're just going to peel this orange. I mean, this onion. Put it in. Now you're going to add a whole stick of butter to it. I'm using unsalted because I don't... Yes, I know I'm live. We got disconnected for a minute. Okay, so this is what you've got in here. You've got the onion, a stick of butter, unsalted, and the tomato sauce. What you're going to do is you're going to put this on a flame, a small, well, low flame. And what you're going to do is allow that to cook and thicken up. The onion will be totally soft and cooked. You'll see it too. I can't tell you how long that will take. Well, you didn't see me this morning, but you're definitely seeing me this afternoon. And the butter will melt. And that's it. You just cook it to your thickness of what you want. That's all it is. Okay? That's it. Now this will probably be simmering for about an hour, and I'm not going to leave you on for another hour because we're going on 2 hours now. But I hope you try making this tomato sauce. It's really good. That's all that's added into it, and you just let it cook till you get your thickness, and that's it. And if you want to can it, like I said, just can it like any tomato sauce. It's really good, okay? So listen, I want all of you to take care. Be safe, and Ash, I don't know how to help you on that one. I'm sorry. That's bad. Okay? So I want you to take care, all of you. Thank you, Andrea. I really do want all of you to take care and be safe, okay? Now, tomorrow, my son said I cannot do a live with showing you how to make bacon and liver. He said, no, Mommy, you're going to give me that recipe. So I'm going to have to show him. You should. You know, you really should. People should think. I mean, I'm looking outside, and the signs are really, really there, and people are not listening. It's sad. It really is. But I have my faith, and I understand. I did a lot of, like I said, I looked into reincarnation. I looked into karma, the law of karma and the law of grace. I learned about the different kingdoms, and that Mother Earth is very much alive. And I can say, because I have died 3 times, I understand what death is and what's on the other side as well. And I understand that we are all at different levels of growth. So, and let's say we have, like they sing the song, the Stairway to Heaven, right? Well, according to what you do in your life decides if you go forward or you go backwards. And people say, well, you'll go to hell. Wait a minute. You can't say that because hell's gates have not been opened yet. That's judgment. That's when he's going to do it. We're doing very well, Cave. I'm going to just use the first part again. No, I wasn't in what you would call a limbo realm. I actually saw the angels, okay, and I was at the feet of Christ crying because this body of mine was dying. And I told him, I can't tell you that story, I'll start crying. But I saw him. So listen, all of you take care. I'm going to go because I'm going to go cry now. Okay, bye-bye.